I'm really so silly. Whenever I go into the doctor, I always have to try to weigh like my lowest and be at my lowest. I was not successful this time. However, I was close. But as I was taking my everything shower last night, I was like, okay, I have to make sure that I can weigh as little as possible for the doctor's office. So I exfoliated my body, made sure to shave my legs, just did everything that I could to try to weigh as little as possible. Why do I do that? That is so silly. This morning before I went into the doctor's office, I weighed in at 248.5 pounds. At the doctor's office, it's always a different story. I always weigh higher than I weigh at home, and that's just a natural thing. I did not refrain from drinking water. I'm going to drink water. I need to hydrate. So I drank water. I was wearing clothes. I was wearing shoes. I even had some things in my pockets. So it's totally fine. This is actually my second follow-up appointment with my doctor, and it's been 6 months that I have been on this Tirzepatide. It's a compounded Tirzepatide, and here is how my visit with the doctor went. By the way, if you are new here, my name is Tiara, and this is my channel, My Shot at Life, where I share my weight loss journey on a GLP-1. I started at 302 pounds back at the beginning of September of 2025, and I am now down to 248-ish. So first thing, my vitals that they took at the doctor's office, they looked pretty good. My blood pressure was 110/73, which I'm not versed at all in any of these numbers and medical things, but the nurse said that it was good blood pressure, so that's good. What I weighed in at the doctor's office was 251.5 pounds. My BMI is 44.57, my pulse 75, respiration 18, and oxygen saturation 98%. So overall, not too bad on my vitals. So when the doctor came in, he took a look at my weight that I weighed in there at the office, and overall, he was pretty pleased with what he had seen, and he said it was natural for the weight loss to slow down at this point, especially still being on somewhat of a lower dose. At the 5 milligram dose is what I've been on for 3 months, and so the weight loss has really slowed down because my body has gotten used to the dosage that I'm at. But he said I'm still averaging 5 to 6 pounds of weight loss a month. He said most people want to just, lose the 100 pounds right away, and I totally feel that. I totally understand that is how everybody feels, because I feel the same way. So we discussed my current dose and how I'm doing with it, how I'm feeling about the current dose that I'm on, and I told him kind of what was going on, and I'm really glad that I did not have to be the first one to suggest that I go up in my dose. Just that little bit of reassurance that I'm on the right track and that, yes, I'm in tune with my body. I'm figuring out how this medication works in my body and how I'm feeling it. Just trying to listen and be in tune with it and notice little things about maybe like cravings or hunger, or even just like motivation levels. So I'm really glad that I didn't just right off the bat be like, I need to dose up, and that he was able to suggest that first. So he did say to me, I feel pretty good about us going up in your dose and going up to 7.5 milligrams. On my medication, which is the compounded Tirzepatide, I have been at 20 units. My medication and my syringes are probably different than yours. Possibly. They could be the same, but possibly different than yours. So I've been at 5 milligrams, which on my medication and my syringes are 20 units. And now I will be upping my dose to 7.5 milligrams, which will be 30 units. I just filled my prescription about 2 weeks ago, and I don't know the reason for this. I'm not complaining at all, but the cost was lower than it has been previously. What I was paying previously was $325 for this little bottle, and now it is only $300. At least that's what we paid this last time. We also talked about exercise and working out. He emphasized cardiovascular exercise, like walking, biking, swimming, those kinds of things for 20 to 30 minutes a day. But what he really emphasized was the strength training to keep that muscle mass. He said even just like some wall push-ups, to do some of those just to keep the muscle mass. And this is the way that he stated this. The need for strength training is that when you lose the weight, your body gets used to being at the lower weight. And so it says, we don't need this much muscle anymore. So it starts to lose that muscle mass as well. Overall, for my doctor's visit, he said that he was really proud of me and that the medication was doing its job, but I was doing all the rest of it. And another fun fact, I have lost 1/6 of my body weight. I'm always very pleased when I go and visit my doctor. He's very kind, he's very understanding, and just very, very easy to work with. So if you are thinking about starting a GLP-1, this is your sign to find a doctor that you are comfortable with, that will help you get started on your journey. Thank you to all who are watching and for taking this shot at life with me. I'll see you next time.